Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Scores gathered at funeral for Mandeville mob victim. Scores of mourners gathered at the Victoria Town Full Gospel Assembly of the funeral service of 61-year-old Mandeville mob victim Shefton Campbell. Campbell, who was described as a well-respected citizen and dedicated committee member of Victoria Town in southern Manchester, died after a crowd of people beat him on Lower Manchester Road on May 6. Among those in attendance at the funeral are head of the Manchester Police Superintendent Lloyd Darby and Councillor Claudia Morant-Baker, Jamaica Labour Party Perth Division. Taxi operator Orlando Powell, who made his first court appearance on June 2nd, has been charged in relation to Campbell's death. He is said to have mistakenly identified Campbell as a thief. Man killed in head-on crash involving ambulance in St. Bess. A man died as a result of injuries he sustained in a three-vehicle collision crash involving an ambulance on the Lower Main Road in St. Elizabeth on Saturday morning. Police have not yet released his identity. According to the police, about 9 a.m., the ambulance was traveling from Black River towards Middle Quarters when the driver attempted to overtake a tractor-trailer while negotiating a corner and collided head-on with a Honda motor car, which was traveling in the opposite direction. The impact resulted in a collision with the trailer. The occupants of the motor car and the ambulance were rushed to hospital, where the driver of the car was pronounced dead. M16 among two firearms seized in St. James. The St. James police are reporting that they seized 2 firearms and 42 rounds of ammunition during separate operations on Friday morning. According to reporters, officers assigned to the Mount Salem Zone of Special Operations ZOZO were conducting a snap raid along Pigott Street in the community, where they found a Smith & Wesson semi-automatic pistol with a magazine containing 12 live MM cartridges beneath some rocks. Hours later, while acting on information, members of a joint police-military operation from the Norwood ZOZO conducted a further operation where an AR-15 M16 rifle with 30 live rounds 5.56 cartridges were recovered, the police said. No arrests were made in connection with either of the gun seizures. The St. James police are investigating. In the meantime, citizens are being encouraged to call Crime Stop at 311 to report guns and other illicit activities in their communities. St. Anne man charged with shooting his brother. Audley Hines, a 47-year-old mason of Hinestown, Ochara, St. Anne, has been charged with wounding with intent, illegal possession of firearm and illegal possession of ammunition after he shot his brother in his community on Wednesday, June 1. Reports from the St. Anne police are that about 10 p.m., a man was walking along the roadway when he was pounced upon by 3 gunmen who opened fire, hitting him in the face. During the melee, he recognized that one of the men was his brother. The injured man was transported to hospital, where he was admitted in stable condition. On Friday, June 24, a question and answer session was conducted with Hines and he was charged. Stephanie Taylor out as West Indies women captain. Stephanie Taylor has been removed as the West Indies women's captain and replaced by Hayley Matthews from a review of the squad's leadership by selectors, with head coach Courtney Ward citing the need for a change. In a surprise announcement early Saturday, Cricket West Indies said the 24-year-old Matthews would take over from Taylor, 7 years her senior, with immediate effect and lead the squad in their next series later this year. The selection panel felt that it was time to make the change, Walt said. We figured the timing was right with the ICC Women's T20 World Cup coming up early this year. If we're thinking of making any changes, now would be the best time so that we give the new captain a couple of series under her belt before she enters into a World Cup. Hayley Matthews is young, she is longevity in the game, and she would lead the team for a longer time to get the experience, and we are here to support her. For us, it's a win-win, as we will have Stephanie in the concentration on her best cricket and passing on guidance to Hayley as she grows in the role of taking the team forward. Taylor replaced Marissa in 2015 and subsequently oversaw West Indies' capture of the Women's T20 World Cup in India the following year. However, West Indies have struggled to make an impression at recent world tournaments despite reaching the semi-finals of the 50-over World Cup in New Zealand last March. Right-handed Taylor, who also bowls off spin, has remained one of her side-stellar performers, averaging 44 in one-day internationals and nearly 36 in T20 internationals, while taking 152 wickets in the ODIs and 98 in T20s. The selection panel has done a review of the team, including leadership. After this review, the panel took the decision to recommend that Haley Matthews take over the role as captain, said lead selector Andy Brown John. Haley has been notable progress over the years, serving as vice-captain of the West Indies women's team and is the current captain of her national team, Barbados. She has matured as a player and is one of the leading players worldwide with a good grasp of the game. Given the experience that she would have gained in both roles, we are confident that this is the ideal time for her to step into the role of captain. Matthews is a stylish right-hander and off-spinner who made her debut as a 16-year-old in 2014 and was part of the championship winning side 2 years later. She is currently leading Barbados in the West Indies Women's Championship in Guyana and will also lead the squad to the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham next month. I am both humbled and honored to be given the opportunity to captain the West Indies women's team. It is definitely an exhilarating feeling, and I welcome the experience to lead and learn with open arms, Matthews stated. The team has been very close to my heart from the beginning of my professional career 8 years ago, and the influence of Stephanie's leadership throughout those 8 years has played a major role in the player I am today. I eagerly anticipate working with the players to continue building on the progress in which the team has made thus far. She continued, I would like to thank Stephanie for her outstanding leadership of the team over the years. We've accomplished some of our biggest milestones with her at the forefront, and I look forward to continue playing alongside her. Matthews has scored 1,764 runs and taken 78 wickets from 69 ODIs and 1,055 runs and 58 wickets in 60 T20s. DCP Fitzbailey confirms Roshan Barnett has been charged for 5 counts of murder.
The JCF can confirm at this time that the main suspect in the gruesome murder of a mother and her 4 children has been charged. Roshan Barnett has been charged with 5 counts of murder arising from the killing of Kemisha Wright, Kimana Simit, Shermari Simit, Kefana Simit, and Kishan Henry, all of Cocoa Peace in Clarendon. Barrett was charged after intensive investigation was carried out by the Area 3 Major Investigation Division, supported by the Major Investigation Division headquarters in Kingston, as well as the Clarendon CIB and Trelawney Police and other formations within the JCA. Commendation must be given to the officers for the excellent work that they have done. However, while the quality of this investigation has been exemplary, nothing we do will bring back these precious lives that were brutally taken away. Once again, I am urging people to manage their conflicts in a better way. Seek the intervention of the police and other community actors before things escalate to violence.
Major General Anthony Anderson addressed his groundbreaking ceremony for the new Lakova police station.
There has been some violence that has taken place in the Lakovia police district. And usually it will come up from 2 sources. Either persons related to scamming, and we see more and more where scamming and the money that comes from scamming is used to buy guns, and then those guns are used to deal with disputes between scammers, whether it's money or whatever it is. The other thing we have is interpersonal violence, and that tends to be more of a feature here than the sort of gang violence we'll see in other parts of the country. So the interpersonal, the inability to deal with conflict, we've seen it play out in violence. Now we put in a domestic violence center. This is one of the 10 around the country, right here in Santa Cruz, down the road, and so people kind of avail themselves of it. But most importantly, if you start to see the conflict within the community, even within the household, let the police know. They may be able to do an intervention. We can also do referrals We have our own chaplaincy, we have our own counselors. We can get into these conflicts and see if we can resolve them. Because the worst case, of course, is what happened in Clarendon a couple of days ago, where that kind of conflict leads to 5 people being killed and 4 children. I mean, that is it at the extreme level. But only the community and people around could know whether their early intervention, had they told us, had something been done, whether or not that could have been averted or prevented. We don't know. The nature of these things are that sometimes we, the police, only know after it's gone bad, after it's gone to the extreme. And at that point, the most we can do is catch the suspects and bring them into custody. And we have done that. We did that before the end of the same day. We would prefer if it doesn't happen at all. So we prefer to know beforehand. Doesn't mean that it will always stop it, but it means that we can pay attention to it and intervene as we can and as the law allows and provides for. We're in this thing together. The JCF is at the point of despair in dealing with this challenge, and so sometimes people can leave it up to us. But we work better in partnerships, and we will seek a partnership with every well-thinking Jamaican.
Jamaica reports 150 new COVID cases, 1 death. Jamaica reported 150 new COVID-19 cases and 1 death on Friday, according to the latest statistics from the Ministry of Health and Wellness. This pushed the total number of cases of the virus since the start of the pandemic to 142,276 and the death toll to 3,113. Of the newly reported cases, there were 73 females and 42 males, with ages ranging from 92 days to 85 years. The cases were recorded in Kingston and St. Andrew 48, St. Catherine 33, St. James 10, Westmoreland 5, Hanover 4, St. Anne 4, St. Thomas 3, Clarendon 3, Manchester 2, St. Elizabeth 1, St. Mary 1, and Trelawney 1. The country also recorded 92 new recoveries, bringing the total number of recoveries to 90,479. The positivity rate for the latest round of testing was 20.4%. There are 97 people hospitalized, 3 of them critically ill. There are 2,148 confirmed active cases on the island. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.